joining Boss Women of Houston. Boss Women of Houston is presented to you by Bad and Bougie Entertainment. We have the beautiful host, Dr. Gaskin, and today our special guest is Denise Jewell from Opulence Travel Agency. How you doing? And welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. So can you give us some information on how to contact you through your company?
Yes, well, it's easy to contact me. My website is www.opulencetravelagency.com. My phone number is 832-253-2721. That is my business number and that is my website.
Awesome. So I'm just curious because everybody love to travel, right?
Exactly.
So
Oh,
what made you get into the travel agency or decide to do that?
I actually used to be a flight attendant.
Oh
Oh, wow.
wow.
Yes. So as I was flying, I flew for a couple companies, but my last company, we flew the military,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
and the military, wherever go the military go, we go. So as I was flying the world,
Wow.
so as I was flying the world and just loving it, right? I was loving it, but I started thinking about how I would want to bring other people to see what I was seeing,
The
Yes.
to
experience.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I started looking into how to become a travel agent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I actually got started. And this was in the fall of 2016,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
is when I actually just started learning and getting into it and things like that. And I was still a flight attendant at the time.
Wow. So did COVID affect you any?
Yes.
How did it affect you? With the
Tra-
travel agency and
yeah.
the flight attendant,
Right.
correct?
Well, I had stopped flying at this time because
Okay.
I love flying. I
Mm-hmm.
love flying. However, being, a little older and traveling different time, not a few time zones, but you're traveling 6 and 7 hour time zones back and forth. And it just
Oh.
Oh, the
wears
time.
it. Yeah. The time zone wears on you,
Hmm.
jet lag. You don't even get a chance to
Catch
rest a
up.
lot of times before it's time to go again.
Right.
So I decided like, if I ever flew again, I would just fly commercial again. Like I started out with commercial, and then I would do that again. But at the moment, I'm not flying.
Right.
But um, but yes. So when COVID hit, the world, as we all know,
Shut
Shut
down.
down and
shut down.
stopped.
So everything, there was nothing. There was no. It was a good time to do more education because with
Mm-hmm.
traveling, it's a constant education.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And a lot of people think that, well, you're a travel agent. Let's say they contact me and they're like, well, I want to go to Singapore and I want to do this or do that. Well, I have to then maybe look up things on Singapore to be able to answer. And a lot of people think, well, you're a travel agent. Don't you know about Singapore? The world is
It
huge.
is
Yes.
No,
huge.
I don't know about every place in the world. The
Right.
world is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Some people actually only sell Disney.
Mm.
Literally only sell, they only
Wow.
specialize in Disney because Disney is that huge,
Mm-hmm.
is that specialized.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they sell. You have
Hmm.
some people that only specialize in international.
Right.
I like
Wow.
Europe. That's it. That's all they won't sell you a cruise. They won't sell you all inclusive. They won't sell you anything but Europe.
Mm.
That's it. Some
Interesting.
people only sell Ireland. It's just because it's so big,
Lucrative.
it's lucrative, and it's so big that they only sell certain things. I specialize in groups. So I
Mm-hmm.
specialize. I will, if somebody called me and I do all inclusive. So if you called me and you want to go on a cruise, I'll do a cruise. But if you call me, you say, hey, I want to go to Jamaica. Well, that's what I do because
Mm.
that's full of all inclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas also, I do groups. So you say, hey, Denise, me and my family, we want to do a family reunion. Can you put a family reunion trip together for us at an all inclusive, on a cruise?
Hmm.
But you don't just get where I book the trip. We're gonna put excursions in for you.
Wow. That's what my
Wow.
next question was. So
Yeah,
you plan the entire experience.
yes.
So it won't be downtime for the family.
Unless they want
Amazing.
downtime. if I do it like I like to travel, I don't like downtime.
I
Mhm.
don't either.
Okay, I don't like downtime. I'm one of those people that need a vacation from my vacation.
Mhm.
Me
Mhm. Right, right,
too.
right,
I
right,
said that.
right.
But
Right. I mean, you didn't. I mean, you want to see,
Yeah, you
right?
want to
yeah,
see
so I
everything.
want to be going. I want to
Mhm.
be in the morning. You get your breakfast, then you get going, and that's how I want to be till the evening, and I drop in the bed. That's how
Mhm.
I want to be. But everybody's not like that. So
Correct.
if you came to me and you said, well, we want to do, we definitely want to do excursions on Monday, Tuesday, but on Wednesday, we just want to have a day to ourselves so we can shop or we can do this or that. And then maybe then Thursday, we can do some more excursions. So then I would plan it
Mhm.
to where you have those, different things to do when you're busy, you're
Mhm.
doing stuff, you're sightseeing, you're busy.
Yeah.
And then on that Wednesday, that's your day to do your thing. To where if you
Mm.
want to just lay in the bed or you just want to shop or you want to do everything, but if you let me plan it how I want to do it, you won't have any downtime.
Uh-oh.
So,
Yes.
so can you share with the audience a little bit more about excursions? Like, what does it entail? The different variety of excursions, because a
De-
lot of people don't know
Depending on where you are. So
Mhm.
if it's a Caribbean, it's gonna be you could do swim with the dolphins. It could be jet
that.
skiing. It could be what do you call?
Horseback riding in the
Oh,
ocean.
yeah, I did that before.
Oh.
Horseback riding in the ocean. It could be that what do you call that? That
Parasailing,
parasailing.
What?
kayaking.
Yes, it could be all of that.
Mhm.
Whereas if you are in Europe, your
Mhm.
excursions, like I have a group trip for Paris. So
Oh,
the
I always want to fly to
excursions,
Paris.
I'm ready to
yeah.
slide in Paris.
So the excursions are more going to the Louvre. It's not the
Mhm.
physical excitement, it's the sightseeing of this
Sightseeing.
Paris,
What? Yeah.
Mhm.
going to the Eiffel Tower,
And
but
shopping.
also have, yes, definitely shopping, but also having a dinner, like having a dinner cruise
Mhm.
Yes.
on the famous river.
Oh my
Yes.
Hmm.
God.
So those are the different types of excursions depending on where you
Oh,
are.
Look,
Hmm.
I'm
wow.
excited just talking. I
I
haven't even planned
know.
the trip. I'm
And
excited just
the
talking.
amazing thing, so you said you specialize in groups. So
Yes.
is it like groups like someone can come to you and say, "Hey, I have a group," or you can add them to a group?
Well, they can come to me. There's two ways that I do. So they can come to me and said, "Hey, I have a group that I would like you to put together for us." But also, I have groups that I've already put together, and people can just join and pay
Mhm.
on
Those
and
my
be on
kind
that
of
group.
groups. Those are my kind of groups.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So you allow everyone else to experience by you already put the group together. So you take the guesswork, the
Mhm.
planning, because that's a lot of people
Yeah.
are fearful of because they just don't know.
Yeah. How
It's
to
a lot of
plan?
work.
Yeah.
And
Right.
people don't realize it's a lot of work when you're looking, trying to find, um, like, as an example, you you again, let's use it, Jamaica as an example, and you want to go and you want to have the air with
Mhm.
it, so you want to
Mhm.
have the air package with it, where it's easy to just go pick you a pack, pick you a resort with the air. That's not hard.
Yeah.
That's easy. But
Right.
trying to find, I don't like to pick, you can get that from kayak or whatever.
Expedia, things like
Right.
Mhm.
that.
But what I do, because I look at how much, because again, I was a flight attendant,
Mhm.
Right.
I look at how much ground time.
Mhm.
I don't want to pick a flight time for you where you have 30 minutes to transfer a flight.
Mhm.
That's no time at all.
Mhm.
Anytime,
Not with
it could be
delays.
anything with a delay,
Mhm.
but also it takes time to get off that plane.
It
Mhm.
do.
Depending on the size of the airport, go through the airport to
Find the
get to the
gate.
next gate.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
I
So I don't want to pick a time. There were so many times that I was on the plane and we were delayed for one reason or another, and a family, they're going, they're all together, they're going on their beach vacation, and they'll show me their schedule and they'll say, will we make our
second flight.
second flight? And I'll look at my watch and I'll look at their time and I'll be sadly have to say no. They're
Yep.
not going to make
And
it.
they're not gonna hold it for
No, they're
Yep.
not. They're not going to hold it for you. So I always try to, again, if I just pick the first thing like Kayak or Expedia give you, that's easy.
them. Right.
But I'm going to look
Your
for
details.
a better, yes, I'm going to look for you. Nobody likes to actually be in the airport too long,
Or
but
Mhm.
I would
stressed.
Yeah.
rather give you more time
Mhm.
than have not
No
enough
time.
time.
Mhm.
Right. The
Right.
anxiety of I have to make a flight takes away from the whole
Yeah.
ordeal. It could change your whole mood.
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially with the
definitely.
layovers, because I
Oh
had a
my
layover
gosh.
when I went to Vegas, and you have your certain times where you get the other plane that came in. Well, leaving Houston, we had to stay because of the weather. We couldn't
Mhm.
take off as
Yes,
scheduled.
yes,
So when we
yes.
got to the next, delay overtime, we didn't have time to lay over. We were like literally running, trying to get in
Mhm.
line for that plane. So even though
Right.
you have a layover, you still have to factor in the weather.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you factor in the weather.
Anything.
Mhm.
Cancel flights.
Yep.
There's been a lot, as you know, a lot of canceled major, a lot of canceled flights for all airlines, and that's due to the shortage of the pilots
And how
and
does
flight.
that affect your planned
It
vacation?
Mm.
it can affect it a lot. The planning process, it doesn't affect it,
The
but
actual.
the actual where somebody is traveling first is on their mind. What if they're already stressed because of all the cancellations nowadays, that they're already stressed.
Mhm.
What if my flight gets canceled?
Mhm.
If it's a cruise, I advise people to fly in the day ahead.
Correct.
Mhm.
Always fly in the day ahead, because when that boat is gone, that boat is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. But if it's not, and you're just going to Mexico or you're just going somewhere else, then, you know, I have nothing against low cost carriers, meaning Frontier or what's the other one with the yellow and black plane?
Spirit.
Spirit,
Spirit.
as such. I have nothing against them. However,
I
I
would
never
never
book
fly Spirit.
anybody.
Yeah.
I don't book anybody on those flights.
Only like
Unless you would
Southwest.
have to
Me too. I do
ask me,
Southwest.
Mhm.
Denise, can you book me on a Frontier? Because I'm not going to book you on there.
Mhm.
And one of the reasons is because now, if they start canceling, because American and United, everybody's been canceling. However, the difference of why I won't is, let's say it's just a mechanical, something's wrong with that plane,
Mhm.
and that flight got canceled. They have to bring another plane
Mhm.
in. They have multiple flights a day,
Right.
Mhm.
whereas Frontier and Spirit do not.
Mhm.
So a lot of times, if they cancel
Ah,
that flight, that's it for that
you
day.
have to
Yeah.
wait to the
Wait. Yeah.
following day. Oh, I
Yes.
see.
And then
That's a good
it may
consideration.
not be, they only going to fit you if this room, that if that flight is already full,
Mhm.
then you're still not going to get on it. Whereas even with the main
Mhm.
airlines like American, Delta,
Mhm.
United, they can be full, but they have so many different flights. They're still going to fit you. They're going to
Mhm.
find a plane. It may not
Right.
be in the time you want to get there, but they're going to fit you
Mhm.
in. They're going to get you on a flight.
Mhm.
Now, sometimes it will be the next day,
Mhm.
but they're gonna try that day to get you on another flight. So the experience will be a lot different.
Okay. Well, you have brochures and you have pamphlets on your travel agency. If you could explain a little bit about your brochure, and we can go into a brief commercial about your company. You could take us into a short commercial about your company and the brochure.
Okay.
Ring in the new year with a bang. Opulence Travel Agency is excited to offer our 6 night trip to Dubai. This package includes an all white yacht party, full day in Abu Dhabi, new and old Dubai city tours, traditional desert safari, shopping at the Golden Spike Souks, and of course, a New Year's Eve celebration. But that's not all. You'll also be staying at a 5-star luxury hotel. So, what are you waiting for? Book your spot today and ring in the new year with a bang. Book today with Opulence Travel Agency at opulencetravelagency.com, hosted by Traveling Sisters Travel Group, or call 832-253-2721 for more information.
I
All
don't know
right.
about coming back from Dubai.
I mean, tell us a little bit more about Dubai and how you formulated that group because, honey, we are
All
on the
over
trip.
Okay.
Dubai.
Well, um, I've been to Dubai when I was flying,
Oh my
and I did not get to experience it like I want to because I was
Oh,
working. However, it's a beautiful. beautiful country.
I can only imagine.
And yes, so I said, okay, I want to go to Dubai, but I want to experience because I love groups myself. This is
Mhm.
why I specialize in group because I like being a part of a group.
Mhm.
So I said, I want to go, but I want to host it. I want to host it. So I said, I'm going to put a group together. So I started a sister company as a part of Opulence Travel,
Mhm.
and it's called Traveling Sisters Travel Group.
Okay.
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 Now men can come, but they must be attached to a
To a
Oh,
woman.
to a
to
woman.
a woman.
Okay.
To a
Okay.
woman.
Okay.
Okay, to a woman.
I can understand that.
Yes.
Mhm.
They must be attached to a woman. So I started thinking about what type of experience I wanted people to have. So anybody can go to Dubai and they say, oh, okay, I'm gonna put, I'm gonna do a hotel and I'm gonna,
Look at the
let the
lights.
plane. No, I said no, 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 no. I want to give people an experience,
Yes.
an
Mhm.
experience. So
Experiences.
yeah, so we not only we're doing the traditional, but we're going at New Year's time, right after Christmas. So this is
Oh.
December 26th to January 2nd of 23 into 24. So that's plenty
Wow.
of time to pay on it. Okay.
Yes.
So I said 5-star hotel
Yes.
because you're not going to Dubai and staying at
Right.
some regular hotel.
Oh yeah.
Now is the flight like 18 hours?
About 15.
15 hours cuz I know that flight to Dubai was about 15,
But I
18
think the
hours.
flight is a little bit different. You get to watch movies and
Oh, of course. And we're going to
it's
be
not
on
like a
Emirates
standard. Okay.
Airlines, which is a top-notch airline. It's
Mhm.
top-notch airline. So yeah, you're gonna watch
You get a
movies. You're
meal
gonna eat.
too.
Oh, you get more than one meal at that length of flight.
Look, we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
More than one length, but we're gonna stay in a 5-star hotel.
Yes.
We're gonna go to a New Year's Eve gala.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yes. So we're gonna go to Abu Dhabi. You're gonna wear your cover with your hair, but we're gonna go to the gold
Big
souks.
miles.
We're gonna go to
Girl, low end,
the
fresh
gold
skin.
markets in the
Mm.
souks where you can buy your beautiful red or
Right.
whatever your favorite color is, and for your covering and long. And we gonna
Oh,
take
that
a group
sounds so
picture. You're gonna be
beautiful.
gorgeous. You're gonna
Take
be
a group picture.
gorgeous.
Okay, photography already playing there.
But
Okay.
Girl,
it's gonna be a fabulous trip.
look, I'm already
But I
excited.
put together this. I said I thought about all the things that I wanted to experience, but I wanted others to experience too,
Right. Right.
because this could be as they say, the bucket list, right? But it could
Most
Right.
be a
definitely.
once in a lifetime trip for
Most
Opportunity for
definitely.
opportunity for
some.
Hmm.
somebody that they may not. So I want them to have just more than a regular experience that you
Right.
just went to Dubai. No, we going to Dubai 5-star staff.
But it's fair to say that you are a travel agency that takes the total guesswork out. You
Exactly.
you
Yes,
you give everyone the total experience. That
yes.
all they have to do is just show up.
All they got to
Hmm.
do is show up.
You
So
put a
what
lot of
type of
love and care
documentation
into
and
it.
paperwork
That's what I was gonna
is
ask.
needed? Because some areas I know before, I'm not sure, needed just a birth certificate or different
Now you
things.
always need your passport.
Hmm.
And I advise everyone, if you ever want to go anywhere, because now you need a passport to go to Canada.
Hmm.
But they last 10
Oh
years.
wow, because
They
you
Hmm.
last
didn't
10 years, yes.
you didn't need that at
Yeah,
You
first.
because
did
I've been
not,
to
but now
Canada.
you
Yeah.
do.
Oh
So
wow.
now you need a passport for Canada, but they last 10 years. But also now for Dubai, um, you get a visa, but you don't have to get it from we're from the United States or from the United States, we don't have to get it till we get to Dubai. And
Okay.
we get the visa at the airport,
Oh, at
the
the
travel
airport. That was
visa.
my question. Okay.
Yes, at the airport, a
And
travel
it's
visa.
only for the time period that you're there?
No, they last about 30 days.
Okay.
So we'll be there maybe even longer. I can't recall exactly, but of course we'll only be there a little over a week.
Right.
Yes.
So when do you start ordering or putting in whenever
Well,
you
when
whenever
you
you schedule the trip?
You don't have to until you get, none
to
of it
the
has to be
airport.
done till you get
Oh,
there.
to the airport.
Till you
Okay,
get there.
okay.
Yes. None of it has to be done until you get there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it's taking effect once you get okay, okay,
Then you
Yes.
okay.
complete it.
Yes.
Okay.
You fill it. Yes. You fill it out and it's a quick process.
Okay, okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
that makes it a lot easier
It
that
Okay.
you
does.
don't have to, because different countries have different rules.
Mhm.
And now finally the mandates on COVID are starting to come down.
Mhm.
Yes.
So when you were planning, did you see a lot of things that you had to work around when COVID was present?
Actually, for that trip, no, because they have when I work with different vendors in different countries for different countries for different things. So you work with different vendors that specialize in what they do.
Mhm.
So they in that country have already worked it out for you
Okay.
for the COVID or whatever for their guidelines for you to follow, and they'll
Right.
let you know. Yes.
Okay. That was one of my concerns because I know even by state,
Mm-hmm.
little things are different, especially since that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Precaution. Some
Mm-hmm.
states don't take precautions. Some states do take precaution.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about all the international travel.
Okay.
Yes.
So previously we were in conversation, which people need to know that uh, the United States has a lot of hidden gems.
They do.
And so, what experience could you give a person who wanted to travel within the states?
Take a road trip.
Take a
Take
road
a road
trip.
trip.
Take a road trip.
Okay.
If you don't like long road trips, literally pick a place on a map and say, I'm going to fly. First, check it out, see what's there, fly there. You don't have to spend a long time. If you just a weekend,
Mm-hmm.
walk around,
That's it.
see
Weekend.
what's there. You'll be so surprised. Again, when I was flying, but doing I wasn't doing all the international. I worked for international company. I was doing commercial, so I saw a lot of the United States, and we flew into a lot of smaller cities and just walk around. I am a sightseer by
Me too.
nature. So I would, as soon as we fly in early in the day. We're gonna be there to the next day. I take off my uniform, change, get out. I get to walking. I get to walking, seeing what's out there, and
So,
you'd be so surprised.
so how do you know where the safe places are?
Look up demographics,
Research. Yeah.
Yeah.
research. Look up demographics. But if it's a tourist place, it's gonna be pretty safe in that main
Vicinity.
that
Vicinity.
vicinity.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, if it's a tourist place, it's going to be safe in the main vicinity.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I know I have a lot of friends that like to travel to Destin.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, my son them go to Destin all
all
the
the
time because
time,
they.
and it's just so many different beautiful places that you can go to. But what I like that you said was a lot of people believe that a vacation or a trip have to be over weeks or a week, but just the weekend getaway or
Mm-hmm.
the
Yes,
overnight flight, just 2 days
Mm-hmm.
makes a whole difference
it
to your
does.
mindset.
It
Mm-hmm.
does.
Have
It
you do you have a
refresh.
lot of people that may say, okay, I just want to take a weekend trip to
Yes,
blah blah blah?
yes, yes.
Are you seeing more of that now
No,
than
you still
previous?
see more people because the rise of ever since the pandemic, the rise of passports have been to people who have never got a pass, probably never thought about getting a passport,
Or
Mm-hmm.
doing it
but by
now?
being locked down,
Yes.
it puts a whole different perspective on
Mm-hmm.
getting away, getting
Mm-hmm.
out
Yes.
the house, doing something. Just so people are buying passports like never before.
Mm-hmm.
So I see more actually just a rise in people going to. I mean, people have always gone to Mexico, Jamaica, or something,
Right.
but I mean, I see a big rise
Right.
in that.
Well, me and my kids were thinking like going somewhere like the hill country where we could find like the log cabins. Where
Or
would it?
Airbnb. I was going to
Yeah,
ask
where
if
could
she's.
we go to
Okay.
find?
It's a lot of different places, but I say one of the best places is um, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
oh good, Gatlinburg,
Mm-hmm.
Pigeon Forest, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
That's they cornered the market when it came to cabins.
I love log cabins.
Mhm.
Cabins, yes, and you can get all kind, very fancy,
Mm-hmm.
small to
Yeah.
more rustic.
Now the
To
rustic that would be ideal for me, especially around the Christmas holidays.
Oh, snow. I
my
like the
Yeah.
yeah, my daughter had me, and it's been some years now, but she had me doing whitewater rafting,
Oh
and I
wow.
thought I was gonna die.
Woo. Yes.
That's adventure though. That's
Yeah.
something that you can look back years later and say, "You remember when?"
Oh yes.
Because that's one of my biggest fears is I don't want to wake up one day and say I should
I
have.
should
I am a
have.
big woulda. I don't like woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Right,
Hmm.
right,
Because
right.
people ask me, how did you decide to start flying? I said, well, I don't like woulda, coulda, shoulda, and I don't want to go back years later, and I'm 70. Hopefully, I
Right.
Hmm.
make it past 70, but that I'm 70 years old, and I'm saying, I wish I would have did this, and I wish I would have did that. So I at least try it.
Hmm.
Right.
At least try it.
Like
Right.
the skydivers over on 521.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be a big supporter. I just don't believe in jumping out of something
Jumping
that's
out of an
perfectly
airplane,
fine,
but
but
yeah, but
I do believe in adventure.
yeah. So, but well, we can take us into another commercial if you don't mind, and give us a little bit more. We can explore a little bit more about your company.
Okay.
This Mother's Day, give your mom the gift of relaxation with a 5-day cruise to Grand Turk. Prices start as low as $655, making it an affordable option for families. The cruise includes plenty of activities to keep everyone entertained, from swimming and sunbathing on the beaches to shopping in the duty-free stores. There are also several restaurants and bars on board so you can enjoy a delicious meal or refreshing cocktail while admiring the stunning turquoise waters. And of course, what better way to show your mom how much you love her than by spending some quality time together on a relaxing vacation? So don't wait. Book your cabin today and give your mom the best Mother's Day ever. Book today with Opulence Travel Agency at opulancetravelagency.com, hosted by Traveling Sisters Travel Group, or call 832-253-2721 for more information.
Family cruising, a whole Mother's Day cruise. So
Yep.
tell us what made you think of the had to have a Mother's Day cruise and what does it entail?
My mother.
Okay.
Okay.
Thinking of my mother, and she's never been on a cruise, and trying to get her on a cruise. Well, she's fine to want to get on a cruise, but now we got to get her on a plane again.
Oh,
And fly
okay.
to
So,
Paris.
well, not yet.
Oh, okay, okay. Maybe it's just me trying to fly to Paris.
Yeah, you just trying to fly to Paris.
So where does this cruise, the Mother's Day cruise, go to?
It starts in Miami, Florida, so you can get down there and do a little party, and it goes to Grand Turk. So it's just a 5 day,
Oh.
4 night cruise,
Hmm.
and it goes to Grand Turk. But we have some, things that for the cruise. Again, this is my group trip, so I got some
Right.
stuff
Pl-
planned.
intertwine into the group.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yes.
and it's
To keep
very,
entertainment.
very affordable. Yes, yes.
So I know with you already planning things in a group. So are you developing a strong sisterhood, a traveling sisterhood
I
from the
am
group?
working on it. I'm building.
Right.
So I have a Facebook group called Traveling Sisters Travel Group. So please, come onto Facebook, and then you just click join. I have a few questions,
Right.
just asking you, do you intend to join? Are you a travel? Are you a travel agent? Because I don't need other travel agents
Trying to compete.
Hmm.
Right.
in my group, in my
Yeah, yeah.
sisterhood,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that you asking, are you gonna, follow the rules of the group?
Hmm.
Be
Right.
respectful
What
of others.
What is the name of the Facebook group?
It's called Traveling Sisters Travel
Traveling
Group.
Sisters Travel Group.
Yeah,
Okay.
Traveling
Traveling sisters
Sisters Travel
travel.
Group.
We're gonna make sure that we join
Yes, because this
because
is.
you have a lot of liberating trips um, and things planned. And I'm gonna tell you about me. My schedule is so busy
Hmm.
to where I just want to go to somebody and say, "Plan is for me." So all I
Hmm.
have to do is
Go.
show up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So was that your plan or your goal when you were deciding to start your company?
Well, when I first started, I didn't yet have that niche. I didn't
Right.
have
Hmm.
that niche. I didn't exactly know the exact direction
Right.
I wanted to go. I just knew I wanted to sell travel.
Hmm.
But the more I learned and the more I developed as an agent, then I knew that I wanted to do groups. That groups was like, my thing. Yeah.
Hmm. So, what is one of the most beautiful places that you can say that you went to?
Italy.
On my list.
Italy. Venice.
Wow.
Venice or the countryside in Italy. Just driving the countryside and being in Venice is probably the most beautiful place I've been to.
Mm.
And so I know we compare, if you compare living arrangements with the different places you will go, would you say Italy was probably one of your top notch? Because I know each experience is different.
Actually, no.
No, oh no. Oh,
Well,
what was
what
different?
in the what a lot of Americans, I'll say,
Mhm.
don't realize is that a lot of
Mm.
Europe is different.
Compact.
It's compact. So the whole, you have like single hotel rooms where you have a twin bed. So as opposed to, because you're
Oh.
one person, so it'll be a single room. Or a
Right.
lot of European, like in Germany, a lot of places I went to in Germany, they don't have air conditioning because it doesn't get as hot as we do. And then we're spoiled Americans.
You see our faces? We like, what?
Not only that, they don't have irons a lot of times in the
Oh
rooms. They
wow.
have like an iron floor where you can go in an iron room, like a room where you can go iron because they don't think it's safe, for all
Mhm.
the irons in each room. So I travel with a travel iron. I have a travel
So
iron.
Oh.
basically, when you travel, it's best to do your research
Yes.
because you have to adapt to whatever culture
Yes.
Yes.
and standards.
So when I was in, because I've been to different cities in Italy. So when I did go to Venice, I was so happy that we actually stayed in a Marriott. I was so, because again, I'm a spoiled American. So to
Mhm.
see finally I get an American hotel,
Right.
that is totally even though it's in Italy, it's totally American.
Mhm.
Right.
Whereas when you stay in a hotel that's an Italy brand hotel,
Mhm.
then no, you're not.
It's
You're gonna
The
get the
elements of
iron
it.
floor. You're gonna get,
Right.
you're not gonna have that iron. You might not have the air conditioning. You might, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be different. And what a lot of people don't know is that their plugs are not our plugs.
mm,
So you have to get a adapter because they have different plugs. So our plug won't fit into their plug. So you get a
they're
you
gonna
get
make
a
sure.
traveling adapter that fits different plate, for
Wow.
different countries.
Places.
Yes.
Oh
But
wow.
I would say
That's
when
a
I
good
was in
travel
the
tip.
country,
Mhm.
Bahrain, which is a Middle East country,
Right.
Never heard of it.
um, that's probably the most luxurious that I had
Really?
stayed in, where everything is just top notch. I can't remember the actual hotel, but the rooms, the beds, this everything is just
They paid
top
attention to the
notch.
detail.
Plus, Middle East, pay attention.
Right.
Pay attention. And other thing I like to tell you, our music is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm talking about R&B. It's
Okay.
everywhere.
Okay.
Good, good.
Oh,
Because I
It's
was gonna
everywhere.
ask you.
international.
Yeah, because I was
Yes.
gonna
Okay.
ask you about music and language. Do you have any
Oh
problems
yeah.
communicating?
Hmm. Yes. So sometimes there is um, uh, issues of community. Most countries do speak English,
English.
Mhm.
Okay.
but I remember being in like the Middle East. They speak English.
Mhm.
Germany, they're speaking English. Italy, maybe not. Um, let's see. I've been
Do
to,
they have a translator that could accompany the group?
well, if on a group trip, you're always going to have an American speaker
Okay.
to take your group around. It's always going to be an American
Okay.
speaking person,
Right.
always. But when me, I was traveling with the airline, so I'm just there.
Mhm.
I'm not on
Oh.
vacation.
Okay.
So, and I, it's kind of funny, but the most hard time I had was in Mexico. I was in Mexico City in the airport, and I needed to find a pharmacy,
Mhm.
and trying to find somebody to speak English was it
Hard.
didn't happen.
You,
Hey, that did
how
not
about the
happen.
app? Does that? Because sometimes they say it's different language when you use the app.
I think
Siri.
at the time that I wasn't even thinking of the app. I was just trying to
Right.
find a pharmacy, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Pharmacia, pharmacy."
Pharmaceutical. Right. Somebody understand me, please. And I can see how that could be a barrier and a crutch, but you kind of eased me. I know
You have to
when you
be
said
You
it.
just have
Right.
to not panic.
Mhm.
Because you do feel panic when nobody is speaking
Same
your
language.
language.
Mhm.
I mean,
Right.
we're used to everybody speaking English,
Mhm.
Right.
but you in a country that nobody is speaking
Your
English around you
language.
and nobody understand what you're saying, and you're the minority that
Yeah.
nobody is understanding. That can
Right.
that's you can feel a feeling of panic.
And with that being said, so my next question is probably pivotal. How did you feel culturally
Mhm.
being accepted by being a minority in
Mhm.
some of those
Oh,
areas?
Yeah.
I never had any issues.
That was
I
my
never had
question.
any issues. And it's definitely times that you are
Right.
I'm the only black person around.
Wow.
I've been in places in the United States and cities that not, I'm sure in the city I wasn't the only black person,
Right.
but
But
where
in the
In
my
the
eyes
areas.
could
areas.
see
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I was the only black person. And for me, I always carry an attitude of I know where I'm going and I belong here.
Exactly. And you
Okay.
have
So
to.
and so
You felt welcomed.
I don't know if I definitely felt welcomed,
Okay.
but
You were confident
I
enough.
might have been the only black person around, right? But again, I'm carrying that attitude of I know where I'm going. I belong here. Kind of like don't bother me.
Yeah. I'm in my
You
Okay.
know,
lane and
so,
I'm confident in
so
who I
that
am.
I don't know how they see me, but that's how I felt that not don't bother me, don't speak to me,
Mhm.
but don't think that I'm
Confidence.
Yeah. Confidence.
Confidence.
Yeah.
confidence,
Yeah. Right.
confidence. And I never had any issue no matter where. And I'm walking through Mexico cities and I am the only person that's non-Mexican in
Mhm.
some, because we didn't just go to, when you're flying, you're going to little small towns or towns, Aguas Caliente. There's no, everybody's Mexican. You know
Mhm.
what I
Right.
mean? They're not speaking English or
Mhm.
anything. And I walk in a store, I always went to like their convenience store, right?
Right.
I always went to their convenience store, and the only thing we could understand for each other was money.
Yeah.
That's important. That would be important.
Was money,
Mhm.
Right.
and that's all it need. But I speak. How you doing? But
Mhm.
again, I'm walking, and people had asked me, "Didn't you get afraid?" I said, "Why?"
Yeah.
I said, "No,
Yeah.
because I'm walking
In
in
confidence. Yeah.
confidence."
So how was the conversion rate with the men?
The conversion rate for Mexico, of course, is wonderful. The conversion rate when I was in Dubai was wonderful.
Mhm.
Was wonderful. So you get a lot. You got more bar whatever their money is.
Right.
You got more of that for our dollar.
Right.
Whereas Europe, for euros, it's
Right.
less. For euros, it's less. Canada is less, but a little less. Yes.
Because I learned that when they ask you when you're trying to charge a card, they ask you you want to charge it in U.S. dollars or
Oh.
their
Mhm.
value of money, and
Oh.
you'll always say theirs because they charge you extra to convert. And so
Wow.
it's more money. They make money off of the
Off of your
conversion of
money.
yours.
Right.
Right.
But another good way is to use the ATMs there to get your money out of their
Right.
ATMs.
Because you're getting
It's cheaper to get your money
Really?
out of their ATMs than it is to convert it in the US first.
Oh,
So would you say it's easier to use a prepaid credit
I never
card?
used a prepaid. So, and at the time, because I was traveling so much, you have to let your bank know that you're
Right.
doing a
You
lot
have
of
to
traveling
let
because
them
put
know
a
for the
fraud
they'll
alert. They
shut
put
you
a fraud
down,
alert.
completely with no
Completely.
money there.
So if they see once they see that you're traveling a lot, then they leave. They see that, so they
Yeah.
leave you
Right.
alone.
The pattern.
Right, the patterns. So you just you let the banks know, but you get out the money. It just depends on how you want to do it. But I was using my bank card. I was
Mhm.
using because I bank with Chase, and
And
I
it's
let Chase
secured.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I let Chase know.
Right.
Yeah, so and then if there was something weird on my account, which I've had, I remember it had nothing to do with me traveling, but somebody did something with my Amazon account or something, and
Mhm.
I first I said what, and I was flying at the time, and I called my daughter, and no, my daughter never did this, but that's my
Right.
first thought. Like, did you buy something off
Mhm.
my account?
Right.
But the bank handled it
Mhm.
So
quickly.
it's a surety
The
with the bank.
surety, yes. But I'm sure some people want to, if you're are fine to use a prepaid if
Right.
they want to. But
Right.
again, your credit card, is if you use a credit card or whatever, it's
You got
more
travel
assuredly
insurance
because
too.
if you you must use travel. A lot of people don't want to use travel.
I
I can't
know.
figure out why, but anyway,
Mm.
I can't figure out why. But
I use
again, if
travel
something,
insurance
think
going
about
to
it.
other
If you
states.
lose your Visa
Mhm.
card, your prepaid, there's nobody replaced the
Yeah.
Visa prepaid.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas if you lose your credit card,
Yeah. You can
You
call
could
in and shut it
call
off.
it and shut it down and get it replaced.
hmm
Right.
I have a question. The food, when you go to the different places, do you eat what you're familiar with, or do you try the culture?
yes,
I heard also
uh,
that people get offended if you don't try certain things when they
well, I think that's
serve
more
you.
in when you go to people's house.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's more
Okay.
culturally, and sometimes it's rude to turn down, food or anything. But at hotels,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
no, or
okay.
restaurants,
So
no,
like, you're not eating my.
no. I think that somebody invites you to their home.
And I got to do better at that because when you travel, you want something different because my palate is straight basic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine too.
Um,
That's why I was
and I,
asking, do she eat what
especially
she's
the
familiar with?
spices
Yeah.
in the Middle East and stuff is a little different.
they're spicy.
Yeah.
They're spicy, but they have a lot. I mean, they still have food that you're gonna know. They're always
Okay.
gonna have your food that you're gonna know. And I think my and it wasn't the food. One of my most unique experiences was in Italy
Mhm.
because we were at
That food.
a local establishment, and they, how we eat. We go to a restaurant. We say we want a salad, we want this or that, and then if we get a bag before we can barely finish our salad, they're bringing your
Yeah.
food. That is not how it is. You're gonna eat whatever your salad, and it's gonna be a while before they bring you because they
Let you digest the
Yeah,
digest.
'cause you're
food
gonna be
so
full.
you
Yeah,
can
but I was
continue to
hungry.
eat. Where's
Right?
my
Like,
food?
oh,
I was,
Well,
damn,
that's
dude, where's my
good.
of
food?
course, but yeah, it's gonna be an experience. You're not just gonna hear, hear, hear. It's gonna digest. But if you're hungry, you're thinking like, where's
Well,
my
I guess
food?
they say
Where's
you
my
come
food?
out and you want conversation
hmm
and you want to be able to eat your meal well. And a lot of people, so some of them may not have to go. You can take the food to go.
I don't recall because I don't know if this place probably would have had to go. Like I said, it was a very like think of a mom and pop restaurant
Okay.
establishment. Very good, fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, I mean, when they're cooking it, they're not taking it out of freezer
Yeah.
and putting it in the oven.
Or
They're
microwave.
right.
Right.
No, they're cooking it fresh. So your pizza is made with fresh dough. Your
Oh,
pasta
Honey,
is
that's
made with
Italian.
fresh.
That's one of
desserts
my
and
favorite
yeah,
foods. Then
desserts and
Mexican,
yeah.
Italian, then
So
Mexican.
everything is fresh. Everything is fresh. And I can also tell you that a lot of foods that regular fruits, like certain fruits that I'm allergic to
Mhm.
here, I was not allergic to in other countries
Oh
Oh
wow.
wow.
because they don't put a lot of
They don't put all
preservatives
of
and
that stuff
things.
in it. Yeah.
They,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. I can see that.
That's
Yep.
crazy. What
Yep.
about desserts? I love desserts.
We're probably I have not yet been to Paris, and they're the ones most famous. Paris and like
For all of
Switzerland or
those
something
bakery
Mm-hmm.
for their
Yeah, for the
desserts.
cuisines
breads and
and
yeah.
cuisine.
So we probably, as far as the countries I've been to, we probably cornered the market on desserts for the
Oh,
places I've been to.
okay, okay.
Okay, let me get my running on.
Yeah, get a couple of crunches on.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting, and I never you brought us into the insight of the world of traveling because it's a lot of things that I would have not been known to research,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and
Especially
that's
the
the value.
adapter. The adapter.
The
Yeah,
adapter,
something
hmm
because you
that
would have
small.
been
This
over
adapter.
there with
Yeah.
no charger.
No, you'd
Mm-hmm.
have been over there and can't use any of your equipment.
Wow.
You couldn't charge. You couldn't. Whatever you plug up would not work because you wouldn't be able to plug it in.
Wow,
You wouldn't be able to plug it in.
I never. That was something that you never think about. That's the traveler's hack,
Mhm.
really.
What about driving on the opposite side of the road?
Ooh,
But the countries they drive on the same side that we do. Countries I've been in drive on the same side we do.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's just in the movies.
No, because
in
like in
some
London they
areas.
drive on the opposite, but I haven't been to London.
Oh, okay, okay,
I've been
okay.
to
Okay.
Germany. Germany they drive on the same side we
Oh,
do.
okay,
Italy they
okay.
drive on the same side we do. I think in the Middle East I think they do as well. If drive on the same side as we do. So I can't recall where's driving on the other side.
So I know some of them we have to some areas, especially internationally, you have to research because I know they have different things as far as uh, females allowed to be
Uh,
out at a certain time or
well,
participate with certain.
Oh,
Dubai is one of them.
well, Dubai is a little bit more. It's very westernized, so they
Okay.
still have a lot of rules of like you want to have
covered.
like covered arms, so you wouldn't, so like this, this would be fine for covered arms instead of something, sleeveless or anything like that. Also, there's no liquor. However, they have bars, like clubs,
Mhm.
then you can drink at the
Oh,
club, but you can't drink on the street. You can't do. It's very clean. It's very, you
Well,
know,
that's good.
things like that. But however, I've been to Kuwait as well.
Mhm.
So in Kuwait, it's very dry. So
Mhm.
there's no liquor,
Mhm.
period. And then there was no pork, and I wanted bacon.
well, yeah,
But
that
that's
makes
also,
sense.
that's definitely
The
an era.
Muslim.
That's definitely,
Some, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But that's definitely an area you want to go out with a man. I don't
Oh,
care if it's 5 women, 6 women to one man. You want to go out with a man
Wow.
because they're going to listen to, like, if you, even if you're trying, that they won't listen to you,
Mhm.
but they're going to, if it's a man there, they're going to ignore you,
and talk to the
talk
man.
to the man, and he's going to get more done for you. He's going to, even with shopping, he's going to, you know,
Wow.
whereas
So
you're,
there is a
because
culture and
Yeah, that's why I
the
said
culture
people.
and
It's
diversity.
important to
Mhm.
research information,
hmm
because
and you
you
want to
don't know
have your
what you're
head
walking to.
covered.
Right.
You want to have your head covered. Whereas in Dubai, you don't need your head covered, even though it's still Middle Eastern. They're more Westernized. Whereas Kuwait, you definitely want to have your head covered if you're going out. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
It's a little different.
it is. But you'll hear our music.
See it on TikTok.
Wow. Mhm.
I would say the number one, number two is R&B and then country.
Oh, wow.
That other than their own music
Mhm.
Right.
that I heard was our R&B and then country. hmm
So, but best place you've ever been and that you'll recommend.
Internationally, that's hard. Oh gosh, that is hard. I'm gonna say Dubai,
Dubai.
Dubai,
and then domestically Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
What did
Yeah,
you like about Savannah, Georgia?
everything.
So everything.
Is it a beach in Savannah as
I
well?
They have Myrtle Beach is really close. Then they have Tybee Island, but
Uh-huh.
I love Savannah. It's just beautiful. I mean, it is. I mean,
Plantation style.
absolutely. They have plantation that you can visit. Apparently, it's a wonderful. I haven't visited the plantation, the Whitney plantation,
Mhm.
but they said it's a wonderful experience. And a lot of places now they try to whitewash slavery, and this place does not.
Right.
Mhm.
So
They have
they
the
give,
statues and
But I
stuff.
yeah,
love plantation style houses.
yeah.
Me
Period.
too.
But
I love the
we
porches and the
usually go. Me
pillars.
and my daughter,
Mhm.
we usually go in March where they have the flower and garden show, and that's where you can visit those. You can go into
Oh,
the
I bet that's
Oh,
homes.
beautiful.
You
Yeah.
can
oh
go into the
wow.
homes. Yes,
I love plantation homes.
they are just beautiful, and the city is beautiful. And you do the tours, and they tell you all about the history. And they don't try to whitewash, the slavery or what happened to to us as people or anything. And they just keep it. It's like they keep it real, but in a just a positive mood,
Mhm.
I'll
Right.
say, but
Right.
keeping it very real.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it's such a beautiful city. If you've never been to Savannah, is absolutely gorgeous.
I haven't been, but I heard
Yeah.
it's beautiful. And the events that they throw
Mhm.
is stellar.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
And stay down by the river walk.
Mhm.
Stay down by the river walk. No rental cars. Stay down by the river walk.
So you can walk to everything.
So you can walk
Oh
to
wow.
everything. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Savannah, Georgia, add that to the
Yes.
list.
Yeah.
Mhm. Savannah, Georgia.
Yes.
Add that to the list.
So I'm still trying to go to Paris, but
You still trying to go?
so if you could tell us again how to contact you and how to make reservations for the
Right.
audience.
Again, my company's name is Opulence Travel Agency, and it's Opulence, OPULENCE, travelagency.com. My telephone number is 832-253-2721. There's also on my site, there's a travel inquiry form. So if you're wanting to do a trip. I do honeymoons. So
Mm.
I do honeymoons. Whatever you're trying to do, except plan weddings. I don't plan weddings, but I will do the honeymoon for the
Mhm.
wedding.
Okay.
And but you can do, if you want to do a group, just two people cruise, just a few, a girls thing, whatever, and then just contact me through that form or call me. Yep.
Wow. Well, we really appreciate you coming, and we learned so much. Now you got me wanting
I'm so excited
to get
already.
my
Yes.
Rolodex out and say, okay, here, here, here,
Yes.
here. And I'm
Yes.
really excited about the sisterhood that you're trying to get
Yes.
established because that's needed.
Mhm.
People want to have a safe place and they want to be
Mhm.
comfortable with
Mhm.
individuals and get back out there, especially since the
Yes.
ordeal that we had with the world shutting down. So
Mhm.
I think
Yes.
you're doing a wonderful job, and I
Thank
am
you.
so pleased to meet you, and I'm sure we're
Yes.
Most
so
Thank you
pleased
for
to
definitely.
meet
having
you.
me.
It's
And
exciting just talking about it.
right.
Mhm.
Traveling is exciting.
And it's a
Mhm.
mindset. You go there
Yes.
before you even get there.
You
Yes.
do. But
Most
then you
Right.
definitely.
have the memories
Mhm.
Right.
for forever.
Ever. No one can
You
take
Mhm.
it
have the
from you.
memories.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm trying to give people, is those experiences and the memories.
Right.
Most definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people believe that it's not affordable. But you told me that you plan in advance what people can pay on.
Pay on
Oh
it.
yes.
Mhm.
Yes. See, a lot of
Yes.
people don't know that they could pay on. They
Yeah.
think they have to come up front.
Yeah.
No. No, no. You can pay on almost anything, but you have to give yourself time. So a lot of times I run it, a lot of people contact me wanting to vacation in a couple months,
Right.
but that's not enough. Because the vendors, meaning the resorts and everything, they want to be paid so much time before you come,
Right.
Mhm.
unless you are coming at the last minute. And of course, you have to pay everything all up front.
Mhm.
Right.
But you're not giving, if you don't have all the money, you're not giving yourself enough time
Mhm.
to
Right.
pay on it. So I'm a
Most
planner by
definitely.
nature.
That's right.
So people need to think about now. You need to think about next year,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
because you have plenty of time to pay on that. You have plenty of time to plan. Give yourself time to plan.
Mhm.
You can do anything you want to do if you give yourself time to pay on it.
Right.
Instead of thinking like, oh my God, that's $5,000. Yeah, if you look at it as $5,000, but if you
Mhm.
look at that as split
Yeah.
in increments, you're paying on something every month.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what would you say the span would be? 12 months, 24 months?
I usually try to give people, like, the trip for Dubai is until next December. It has to be paid off by September of
Mhm.
next year. So you could be paying on that now all this
Mhm.
time. If my
Right.
trip is out there, but however, how much time do you need? Now you have
Right.
to remember, you can plan a cruise right now for more than a few years in advance. However, you can't plan the air. Air only comes out 330 days
Mhm.
ahead of
Oh, wow.
your return,
Mhm.
of
Oh.
your return date. 330 days. If it's Southwest, it's only 6 months.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
you can only plan the air that far out. However, you can plan the trip.
Yeah.
Right.
You can
Far
plan
out.
the trip much further out and then add
Right.
the air
To the
later.
true.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
And rental
interesting.
cars or
Yeah.
whatever you
Yeah.
need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, for
Yes.
insurance. Okay.
Yes.
That's valuable information.
Mhm.
Yes. A lot of fun. A lot of
Right.
fun.
Anything you'd like to share with the
Well,
audience before we?
I just hope, if you're looking to travel anytime soon, contact me. I love to work with you. Love to work with you as individual or your group. Like if you have a church group that wants to do something, family reunions, girls trip, anything like that, just contact me. I'll be happy to work with you.
So this is Boss Women in Houston, and we enjoyed her so much because she's gave us so much insight and research into the life of traveling. So until next time, Boss Women in Houston, love, peace,
And
and unity.
unity. Thank you.